Hi and welcome to today's video. And today's video is going to be about you, okay? The purpose of this channel is to help you get relief from your day-to-day. What am I talking about? You know, like maybe you went through some trauma. Maybe you got bullied when you were in school, or maybe you continue to being bullied at work because, you know, there are some crappy people out there that like to gang up on people and try to make them feel a certain way. And there's also things like maybe abuse or neglect that happened in your childhood, or maybe there's neglect in your current relationship, or maybe you don't have a relationship. The point of this video is to help you with your mental health. I don't have $20,000, $30,000 to throw away or to give to some therapist. And today's economy, no one really does. From what I know and hear, it's 80% of the American dollar value is gone. So it is what it is. And I'm just trying to offer you, the viewer, help because I had to go through it. You know, I had to pick myself up. I had to read articles. I had to adopt different philosophies, rework my brain, if you will, throw out a lot of the nonsense that was taught to us in school and about society, you know. So today's video has to deal with trauma and some of the side effects. Now, some of this may not apply to you, but listen up, because we all need help, all right? Because the point of the video is to help you have a better today, tomorrow, the next day, because we all need help on dealing with people. People are hell. People have their own problems. People are narcissistic. People are fragile. People have egos and so on. So you get the point. So understanding the hidden effects of trauma, all right? So, what I do here at this channel is I read articles to go along with what I'm saying, because I want to give you actual help. I don't want to just talk off the cuff and not read articles where you can go and figure this out on your own. All right. And that's what I'm here to do, is to help you. So CPTSD, complex. All right, that's what the C is for. Complex post-traumatic stress syndrome. We all have some sort of stress, right? That's just the way it goes. So CPTSD is not as commonly talked about as PTSD. And yet I feel many people suffer from it. Do you find yourself suffering from that? And if you don't know, keep listening, because there is a misconception that only soldiers suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. But in reality, anyone who has been through something or some kind of traumatic effect may have it. All right, so you may have it. CPTSD is classified as prolonged abuse or multiple traumatic effects. Maybe your parents were abusive. Maybe your parents were narcissistic. All right, and that's constant, right? Because you had to live through it, and then you had to go through school, and then you had to go back home, right? So within a so it's classified as a prolonged abuse or multiple traumatic events within a relatively short period of time. These results of CPTSD are debilitating in many cases. So symptoms, all right? Symptoms. Listen up. You may have these or you may not. You may have a friend, and if you don't get anything out of the video, maybe you can help one of your friends, because a lot of people are suffering. A lot of men are suffering. A lot of women are suffering with loneliness. You know, a lot of people are alone, and that's just the way it is. You know, it's very rare that men and women talk to each other. You know, fortunately, I can't talk to women, and women do want me to talk to them. So I'm glad I I'm able to do that. And, you know, not everybody can. And there's some things that you can do that I can't, you know. So symptoms, although some symptoms of CPTSD are similar to PTSD, such as flashbacks, nightmares, and panic attacks. With complex trauma, the physical and emotional symptoms can be far from more complicated and more challenging to detect. Sometimes CPTSD is misdiagnosed as borderline personality disorder because there are some similarities. Okay, so I want you to have a happier life. I want you to have a better life. How is your year so far? All right. Did you make any New Year resolutions, and are you keeping them? It's hard to change. I get it. All right. One of my challenges is reading. All right. I try to read more than not, but it's still something that I have to work at it. It's still something that I have to actively keep doing because it's not natural. All right. For me, it's natural for a friend of mine because he reads all sorts of books, you know, 1,000 pages. So, you know, he's been doing this longer than I have, but it's a struggle for me. So I understand if you have struggles. My life isn't perfect. I know there's people out there that think that my life is perfect, but it's not perfect. I still have challenges. I still have things that I need to work on. And I'm working on this channel and others to help people because that's what I'm here to do. Is we're all here to help each other, all right? Not to tear each other down, but a lot of people would rather tear people down because I deal with that all the time. So there's things that you deal with and there's things that I deal with all the time. So difficulty managing emotions, do you have that? All right, I had to learn to control my emotions by actually taking the stoic, how would you say, approach to life. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and many more. You know, learn how to control your emotions by getting to know you, loving yourself, all right? Knowing what you like about yourself or what you don't like about yourself, your positives and negatives about yourself, and accept yourself, regardless of what it is, all right? You have to love yourself, all right? And there's many more videos on my channel that you can go back and watch, all right? Because other things that you can do here is they may have bouts of depression, difficulty controlling anger, and even suicidal ideation. That's difficulty managing your emotions. Are you drinking a lot? Are you maybe smoking, or are you using meth or whatever you're using? You know, a lot of people are dying because they're trying to find relief. And this is a channel that you can find relief in a natural way so you can leave those things behind because they are so debilitating to your life and your future. It doesn't allow you to move forward, okay? I used to do it for a long time, so I know what I'm talking about, okay? Because some of these drugs may give you memory loss. They may have trouble recalling events or where they placed some things, like maybe your keys or maybe that glass of water, things like that. You know what I'm talking about. They may have either short or long-term memory loss. They may have a hard time answering when put on the spot. It feels like an extreme forgetfulness. Another thing that you might run into or you might have is obsession with the abuser. They may have an obsessive desire for revenge. All right. There's a lot of people that want to get revenge on me because they think I hate them. They think that they think that I'm better than them, or that whatever they think. I'm just imagining, because these people, I don't talk to many people because I mind my own business. And you'll be surprised how people respond to you when you decide to mind your own business. I mind my own business. I stay on in my lane. I don't bother anybody. I don't bother with women. You know, I just do what I do and go home. And people have a problem with that. So people want to gang up on me, and they want to make my life a living hell because of whatever reasons these people have. All right. So, you know, they're obsessed about trying to bring me down for whatever reason. You know, that just isolates them. That's another thing that they suffer with in their life. You know, the person may isolate themselves due to a lack of trust. Okay, drugs do that too. It amplifies it. Okay, lack of motivation. You know, this person may feel like they cannot get anything done. They are likely experiencing extreme fatigue. This is because they do not have optimism or an optimistic outlook for the future. That's another thing that people have a problem with me, is I'm optimistic. And these people, who do you think you are? I'm going to humble you. And these people are the people that don't have their life together, are the people that are dealing with drug addiction, P-hub addiction. But they think that they're going to try to humble me for whatever reason. See, people like to come up with things in their mind. I can't help what they think of me. I just mind my own business. All right. People come up against me all the time, and they think that I don't see them. They think that I don't know. All right. I see it. Doesn't matter where they're at, whether they're at work or at the gym or out and about. I know who you are. All right. Because that's just the way it is. Substance abuse may be another problem if you're dealing with CPTSD or PTSD. Often the person turns to drugs and alcohol to numb out the painful memories associated with their CPTSD or PTSD. All right? They turn to drugs. I was there. I get it. All right? And that's why I make these videos, so you can learn to get away from those drugs, so you can face those issues that you have, so you become strong-minded, strong-willed, so no one can tear you down, so you won't be taken advantage of, so you can tell who's trying to take advantage of you. That's all I'm trying to offer people, okay? Negative self-image is something that you might have if you suffer with this. The manipulation they have experienced has changed the way they feel about themselves, all right? You may feel a certain way about yourself because, oh, this person took advantage of me. Well, guess what? It's easier said than done. I get it, but you're going to have to just let it go, all right? Shame on you. Hey, guess what? You learn from it and forgive yourself, all right? In order for you to really change your life, is you have to start loving, liking yourself. Regardless of what happened in the past, you have to dive into it, accept it, and let it go. I'm not saying forget about it, but let it go. But work through it, because you might have we all have those stubborn thoughts, right? They just keep popping up. They just keep popping up. And again, you have to start actually relaxing with meditation. That's how you get control of your thoughts. All right. That's all I'm offering here, is a way that you can be mentally strong and be a strong individual, so you can have a better life regardless of what's going on around you. Okay. Difficulty maintaining relationships. Due to the lack of emotional regulation combined with low self-esteem, relationships are difficult to maintain. If you are suffering with CPTSD, all right, warm your partner to your problems, all right, to your problems, and assume that if you overreact, it is not their fault. This can save a lot of hurting feelings, because all I'm trying to do is trying to help you help yourself. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So physical symptoms of CPTSD. Maybe you suffer with this. Okay. Headaches, migraines, nausea, vomiting, chest pains from anxiety or depression, dizziness, loss of hair because you're anxious. Maybe you're not getting good sleep, things like that. All right. Skin rashes, All right, this all has to do with what you went through. And my heart goes out to you if you went through these, because my experience with trauma, I experienced a lot of trauma, and I'm thankful that I found a way to get relief. I am thankful that my life is better. It's not the best, but it's better because I learned how to deal with it. Again, that's why I experience a lot of hate from people, because they think that, oh, you don't talk to us, you think you're better than us, blah, blah, blah. No, dude, I just mind my own business. All right. Try to mind your own business and see how people treat you. And then you're going to figure out that, holy smokes, life is a lot harder when everyone's against you. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to help you with. Because if you find success in getting a handle of you, people will not like you. People will gang up on you because they'll assume that you think that that person thinks that they're better than me. And you're just going to rub and hurt people's egos because you don't care. You're just minding your own business, staying in your own lane, working within yourself, looking and trying to come up with ways to make yourself a better person. And people just want to drag you down because people are crabs in a bucket. All right, that's just the way people are. All right, so if you choose to go down this route, you're going to have to do some of the things that I suggest on this channel. You have to get strong. You have to leave everyone behind, including your family. There's no room for anyone in your life if you're trying to get a hold of you. There is no room for anybody else. That's why you have to get mentally tough. That's why you have to become unbreakable. My experience with trauma, having suffered both PTSD and now CPTSD, as well as working with clients with both. So this person has a real unique view. I can tell you that with certainty that no two people process or experience trauma in the exact same way. So you, all right, are unique. Also, each day can vary significantly as far as how well each person is able or unable to function. All right, this is a day to day. That's what this is. All right, you may wake up one day and not feel all that great about yourself, or how things are going at work and this and that. That's just going to add to your trauma, and it's going to add to your day being crappy. So now how are you going to, when you have your time away from work, how are you going to become a better person? Not by drinking, not by smoking, not by binge watching Netflix and chilling. All right, you have to put in some work. You have to. All right, you have to change your life. Some people with CPTSD feel completely debilitated. Others have a high level of function. For me, it varies. All right, so I'm just going to say same thing for me and the same thing for you. All right, I was physically abused last June by my now ex-boyfriend. She says, I was in the middle of buying a home at the time. I had to cancel the contract after having him arrested and quickly pivot my plans on where to live. Instead of living in Florida, I bought a place in Arizona to ensure my safety. Good for her. Okay, the thing is that you're going to attract like people. All right, if you're out there trying to date someone, you're going to have to know that most people aren't going to be good for you. You're going to have to spend time alone. This is a journey for you, right? If you want to become a better person, it has to be you, because anything else is a distraction. All right? I'm not saying you have to be alone forever. I'm just saying that when you're first starting to get a hold of yourself, you have to take the time. Okay? Every case is different, so it might take you 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, whatever it takes for you. You have to become a stronger person. All right? So moving on top of the abuse and court trials was very stressful. I'm sure your life is very stressful with what's going on here, man. My life is stressful too. Look at all the stressors that we're all dealing with, right? Our open borders, these people receiving all sorts of benefits, and Americans aren't getting any reprieve or help from the government, but they are. That's going to cause problems. It's been causing problems, all right? So you have to get tough. I hadn't thought about these stressors as traumatic, but in hindsight, they were, all right? And there are some things that you're going through in your life that may be traumatic. Finally, my body called it quits. It is funny how the body and mind works as a team. See what I'm saying? So if you're stressed out, you might get some of the stressors that I mentioned earlier in the video. You know, headaches, nausea, vomiting, skin rashes. That's all has to do because of the mind, because of what you're thinking, how often you're thinking about it. Are you getting good sleep? Are you meditating? Are you not? Are you going into the ocean and relaxing and soaking yourself in salt, whatever it is? Are you finding reprieve? Most likely you're not. Okay, so the mind and body connection has to be there. All right. So it is funny how the body and mind works as a team. I had been losing hair in clumps and had gotten over my severe skin rash. But suddenly I got very shaky one morning after taking my puppy, a loving addition, but another stressor to obedience school. So even a pet is stressful. That's why I say you have to walk this journey alone. I had been fine until I got home, and then it hit me suddenly, and the nausea kicked in. And then I started throwing up. It was very scary. I could not even hold water or ice down. My anti-nausea meds for my migraines did not even work. At first, I thought I had food poisoning, but as a vegetarian, that would be very rare. So I'm going to stop the video there, but I want to talk to you. All right. A lot of people think that I am full of myself. A lot of people, and I mean here in my hometown. All right. I'm not full of myself. I am honed in to changing my life. All right. I enjoy changing my life. I enjoy not drinking. I enjoy not doing drugs, because look at all the people that are suffering because of alcohol. You know, I have a friend his sister, she's like, I believe 44, 48. Her liver is shot. She has to get sober for them to even consider a transplant. So she has cirrhosis of the liver so young, and her boyfriend does too. So like attracts alike. That's why I'm saying you have to be single. You have to be alone in this journey. Is one of the toughest things that you will ever do is try to get a handle of yourself. That's why you have to be alone. That's why you have to be serious about you. All right? Because other people are going to want to take you off your game because they don't want you to change. Because most people are comfortable being degenerates, alcoholics, drug addicts. They're comfortable doing that. I was one of them. So I understand. Okay? So again, you have to do this if you want to change your life. I can't do it for you. No one can do it for you. And you should do it now rather than later. Because like I just said, this female is in her 40s. So she's been drinking heavily in her 20s and 30s. You may find yourself there. Maybe you have problems with your throat. Maybe you have problems with drinking. Maybe you have problems with your whole system and skin because of drinking or drugs. All right. So This is Mario with Let's Talk About It. And do yourself a favor and get a hold of yourself. There's a different life outside of drugs and alcohol. Your life does get better. Your life changes a lot, okay? And you become a stronger person because a lot of people choose to take the easy way out. So that's all I have for you. Thank you for listening, and I wish you well in your journey. And I will see you in another video.